I'll give you a few minutes. Most will be on the replay. Hey, hey.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
So I just sold a bag of 4 bags of chips to a woman in West Virginia.
Nice.
I hooked up with a friend of mine I used to coach football with, and he is a distributor for Gibbles, the chips.
Yeah.
And he is selling me the chips for the same price that the supermarkets pay for them, $2.50 a bag.
How much do they sell for?
Well, in the store, you pay $4 for the bag. I just sold 4 bags, a bundle of 4 for $43.
4 bags?
Yeah, four bags, 4 8-ounce bags. Let me show.
Which is normally $16.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, look, here's the box. And
why would she pay you $9 a bag?
Convenience.
What?
Convenience.
Off of Amazon or no?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Or Amazon?
Yeah, look, I'll show you. I got up on top of my racks.
Somebody keeps asking, why don't you sell your Evolve clothing on Amazon? I'm like, bro, like, I can't do FBA with Evolve. I can't do that.
No, there's too much.
Yeah. So wait, so you have your chip. What's up, brother? What's up, Scott? You have yours listed at $9 a bag.
Yeah, I just sold. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 huge boxes of chips I got from the distributor. And what I do is I get a small box from Walmart like this. It's a 14 by 14 by 12. I put the 4 bags in there and I break the box down to make it only 9 inches. Cost me, what was my cost? My cost was $11.65 to ship this to West Virginia, the 4 bags of chips. And I had the listing on Amazon for $39.99. They paid the $40 and another $6 towards shipping.
Yeah.
So when I calculated, because I had to weigh it this way, it's a little under 4 pounds. When I calculated everything, after fees, after everything, my profit is $15. So I'm spending 10 and getting back 15.
Could have made more on OnlyFans, but still, it's all good.
Dude, I didn't even know what that was until you said something to me, because I haven't been in that world in 11 years. So, but that's the first, and I'm the only one. I actually created the listing on Amazon. I'm the only one that sells these on Amazon, and I'm selling them FBM here to see if they sell.
Crazy.
So they got it. You got to be careful when you're sending stuff in Amazon. If there's an expiration date, like these chips, they have to be like almost 4 months out with the expiration date. These are a little under 3 months, so I can't send them in. So I keep them here at home, and then I ship them from home.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I got all, you see, Kansas soup.
Nice, bro.
I'm not a prepper. This stuff here, I'll tell you what I did today real quick. I have a shop right near my house, and I went and I got the, where is it? Here it is. I went online. I want to show you this because it's cool, and then we'll get into the books. But I went online and I got the online circular on ShopRite.com from my local store, and I went through the stuff, and I found a bunch of stuff, and I created an order where I bought all this stuff, and there's the soups. I paid for it through the website, and then I had to schedule a pickup for 5:30 today. I get there at 5:30. Everything is ready. They load it in my card, done, paid for already. And tomorrow I'll ship all that stuff in Amazon. And the reason I got it was because in this week's circular for ShopRite, all the cans are, it's like buy one, get one free. And that difference with the buy one, get one free or 50% off is the profit. So
Nice.
I spend 3 and I profit 3 because of that. So
good stuff, bro.
Yeah, this is it's like treasure hunting. But what I'm doing is I'm getting into replenishables, the soups and crackers and stuff that I have are things that I can sell and buy over and over and over again and keep buying the same stuff and keep sending in the same stuff.
Nice, so, man.
I got, you'll like this. I think it's like an adult game.
Why would I like that?
Well, because you talk about Pornhub and all that stuff all the time.
Oh, I see how it is.
Listen, I'm a married man.
Those that don't talk about it, you gotta be worried about.
No,
those are the ones that got like the freaky shoe fetish, the foot fetish. You got the foot fetish.
You know me too well. These I found at Target. I actually posted these in the Bullet group probably about maybe 3-4 days ago. I found these at Target. I think it was like for $15, and they're selling a thing for $44 or $43.
On the adult part of Amazon or regular Amazon?
Say that again.
On the adult section of Amazon or the normal Amazon?
No, but I'd tell you one thing. I found a wholesale distributor that sells adult toys, and the market is huge.
It is huge. I was telling you about that, remember?
I know. I don't know if I want to bring that stuff, have it shipped to my house because I got teenage kids.
I don't blame you.
You know, I don't want them seeing the box going, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And then
then you got missing inventory. You got to go chase your wife down.
No, that would be okay. I wouldn't mind that.
Scott, man, what have you been doing since we talked to you last?
Man, I've been working on my construction company, putting up a pergola today. But I got, as far as the Amazon, I got verified. I got ready to sell. I got a printer on the way. So I'm just waiting on that to get in, and I'm going to start going hunting products this weekend.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. When you're out, I think you said that you messaged me that you found an Ollie's, I believe.
Yeah, I found one. Yeah, I was driving to work one day, random house, found one.
Did it? Well, when you go to Ollie's, you want to make sure that you get their card like this that you can put on your keychain.
Okay.
Like that. When George and I went to Ollie's for the first time, I said, "Dude, you got to get one of these. You got to get one of these." And because the more money you spend at Ollie's, the more coupons they send you for like 10% off your entire cart. So
okay.
In April? In February, I spent almost $4,000 in the month of February at Ollie's alone. And over the next, probably towards the end of the month, because I was spending so much money there, they sent me 5 postcards that said 10% off your entire cart. So I would go there and I would spend, again, and each one has an expiration date on it. So I'd make sure I got there before it expired. And I'd spend $600-700 and get $60 off because of the 10%. And also, Ollie's is reseller friendly. So if you ever end up getting a tax exempt form, you just got to take a copy of that every time you go to Ollie's, and then you don't have to pay the tax.
Okay.
So Amazon collects the tax when something is sold. So you don't have to worry about, collecting tax for any reason because Amazon already collects it. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a way to even put the tax in your pocket as profit, that's one way to do it. So, all right. Scott, do you have any questions before we get into the books tonight? Because I actually started working on something. I got a good idea, and I'm going to do a live where we create a book and publish it and upload it to Amazon step by step. I'm going to delete it after our time here is done, but I'm going to go through the full process with you so you can see exactly what it is instead of me just doing slides and showing you screenshots.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good to me.
So do you have any questions from last week at all? Or anything?
No, I got verified and everything. You kind of walked me through it. It seemed pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
I think I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
My question's more about products. Like which products is there anything you can buy in bulk a lot of and sell fast, or what have you found works best?
Here's in the beginning, when you're new and you're learning about what sells and how fast, I would not buy more than maybe 4 or 5 of something at a shot. It's better to go wider with product than too deep with product, because if you go wide with product, say you've got 4 or 5 items that you're sending in of like 20 different items, and one of them turns out to be bad, or somebody tanks the price and you lose money, you're losing money on those couple. But if you were to buy 20 or 30 of one thing, and that one thing, the price tanks or goes bad, then you've just lost a lot of money on one thing.
Got it.
The only time that I buy in bulk is when experience is going to tell you when, but when you just know it's a good deal, and I buy 3 or 4, ship them. If they end up selling fast, I'll buy like 10, ship them in. If they sell fast, 20, ship them in. But I've never gone more than 40 deep sending something into Amazon.
Okay.
Yo, I'm here. I've just had the screen on because I'm using this gun for soccer. Look, it's a massage gun. And I don't want to make a little OnlyFans page while you're doing this. You're recording it.
You look like Eric.
Yeah, I am Eric. I'm Eric's sidekick. So I'm listening now.
All right. So, but yeah, I never, even 6 years later, I go more wider than I go deep, because it's always scary. And if you're not sure, Facebook messaged me screenshots of, if you're out at Ollie's and, you're scanning stuff, shoot me some screenshots, and then I might be able to help you out there when you're sourcing.
Oh, how wide do you go? Like, how many products would you say that you post?
Well, in the beginning, I had 11. Now I'm going back 6 years ago. I had 1,100 products.
Wow.
1,100 SKUs sitting in Amazon's warehouse. And some of those SKUs I had like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of each one. So I had maybe like $1,200 items sitting in Amazon.
Okay.
And I was only making about $1,000 a month profit. And I couldn't understand why. And it was my inexperience in the beginning that if I saw something and I saw a profit and I didn't really watch the rank or look at the Keepa chart to see how it was selling, I would just send it in. I wasn't getting many sales. I had a big store, but I had very small sales. So now I have no more than 100 items, 150 items max. And doing 2, 3, 4, 5. The other month was $5,000 in 1 month.
In profit.
Yeah, with a smaller amount of product, because I've gotten so picky, like picky to the point where these go on sale. I take advantage of it, and a set of 6 is what's selling. So I'll bundle these in a poly bag, and take advantage of the sale, and I'll double my money on these sets literally within a week.
Okay.
Because they sell quick. And Progresso is something that a new seller is gated in. But as soon as you scan it and it says require that you can't sell it, if you click on a little button that says approval required, click on it, you'll probably get ungated for it.
So I know it's going to take me time to get there, but how much time does it take you to make this happen, to be at about $5,000-$6,000 a month?
Oh,
how much time out of your month are you taking?
How much time am I doing that with?
Yeah, like each month, how much do you think you spend like going shopping and posting and?
I'd say 30 hours a month.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the times, and Wednesdays are the big days that I do stuff, and I go sourcing either Saturday or Sunday. I'm doing a lot more online arbitrage where I'm having things delivered to the house. Like I got, let me show you an example.
Okay.
I don't know if I showed this last week, but I just bought these on, did I show these last week?
Yeah, I think you might have, or you mentioned them if you didn't show them.
I think I got these Thursday, the day after, but I bought 72 of these that I found on Walmart.com in their clearance section. I just went to Walmart.com. I clicked on clearance and I looked and see what I could find. And I found these that normally sell for $20. They were selling for $2.97 each.
That's cool. I didn't know they had clearance online.
Oh yeah. So
nice.
So sometimes they'll have clearance just because the product, the packaging changes. Then,
cool.
Then they'll clear out those items because it's like considered old packaging and there's like new packaging. So if they just change the picture of her to something else, it's considered old packaging. So they'll try to liquidate and get rid of the old stuff quick.
Nice.
That's actually what is a lot in Ollie's is companies are changing their branding or changing packaging, and now they're trying to get rid of the other stuff. But those on Amazon, I'll make a $5 profit on each one. I could sell them on eBay and I could make probably about $9 profit roughly on each one after fees and everything. But I'd rather send them all into Amazon. I'm going to send in 20 into Amazon. I'll keep the other 50 here. And then when those 20 start to go down, then I'll send it another 20. So I'm not getting hit with like storage fees after 30 or 60 days. So did I think I sent you this Facebook message. Do you remember that?
I don't remember seeing that.
All right. I'll have to, I thought I did. I'll have to, or I don't know if, I think I emailed everybody.
Okay. Yeah. It probably was in the email.
Okay. This is it's called an auto ungating brands guide. And it's a huge list. Let me see if I can see it.
There you go.
It's just a huge list. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 pages of brands that you can sell as a new seller.
Okay.
So that's one of the biggest questions I get. It's like, okay, I'm new, I'm gating a lot of stuff, but what can I sell? So I came up with this guide, and I got all the information off of Seller Central, but I just put it all together because it was like all over the place.
Okay.
So, but yeah, check your email. If you don't see that, then let me know and I'll send you another one.
Got it.
So, all right, you ready to get into books?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. My first question is, are you familiar at all with Photoshop? Have you ever worked with Photoshop?
I've worked with it in the past, not anytime recent in the past 2 years, but like,
okay,
man, it's been probably like 10 years.
All right, then I'm not going to use Photoshop. I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use a website called Canva.com. But let me show you. Let me show you what I've done over the years. I've got books here that I'm going to show you as an example. Let's see. This is a coloring book. This was actually the very first book that I made and published.
Okay, cool.
It's just pictures of things for kids to color, and it kind of teaches kids about chess. Where's the one page? It teaches kids how to play chess through coloring.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to show you how I got all these images, where to get them. They're royalty free. This was my first one. Another one I did about a trip to the dentist, where the book, the kids learn about the dentist through coloring.
Okay.
And then the third one was another coloring book about country life. So those were the first three that I ever did. And I tried. Why did I do coloring books? Well, because at the time my youngest one was 3. So
yeah.
So and she loves to color. So I thought, you know what? Coloring books are easy. I'll show you how to get the pictures. Another one I did was I created this book called Network Marketing Objections Suck.
Okay.
Scripts. And I have I think it's 42 scripts that I created. and I put it all in here, and I talk about like creating a dream board and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And I'm showing you these as examples because I want to show you what's possible.
Yeah.
You saw this one.
Yep. Got that one.
I did with Amazon. This one here. You're going to love this one. I made a Trump book. It's hilarious memes about Trump. Good and bad. It doesn't matter. And I actually found all these images on Google. This image of Hillary I found on Google. I cut out, so it's just her, the same one with Obama. And then I found this background image, and then the lettering I did actually in Photoshop. So that's the cover. And then on the back, I put a picture of where Hillary was ripping up his speech, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yep. And then I wrote down, created for fun by Tom Young. And all this is a book of memes. That's all
funny.
it is. That's it. It's just a book of memes.
Did you sell a bunch?
What's that?
Did you sell a bunch?
Yeah. Yeah. I create this, you know, I showed this to some friends of mine and they loved it. Some friends of mine went on Amazon and I bought it, and they keep it on their coffee table that are diehard Trump lovers. And they're like, listen, I put this on my coffee room table just to piss off my Democratic friends. So stuff like this is what you're going to learn how to do.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to show you a couple more. And I'm going to show you these for a different reason. My Team Nitro, I'm in Connect, and I created what's called a 30-day social media tracker for how people on my team talk to people. And it's literally a tracker. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep, I see it now.
And just scripts all in here. And what I do is when somebody new joins my team, I give them one of these because this is what I've actually done to build my team. The last 3 people that I personally sponsored, I did this way. And when people get this in their hands, it's an actual book. They think it's awesome. Didn't cost me anything to make this.
Nice.
Everything that we're doing tonight will not cost you 1 penny. I'll show you. I've got other examples, but I'll show you a couple more here. No content books, a book with no words in it. That's what all of these are. What it is basically is, let me find one here. It is a book with lines in it like this.
Okay.
Or you can do, where's my other one here? You can do, oops.
So it's like a notebook?
Yeah, it's a notebook, or people call it a stationary book. There's different ones. I don't see what I'm looking for here. But all I did was I created the cover. I did this in Canva called Kick-Ass Ideas. It's a journal notebook. I put a logo on the back. Now, Amazon is going to give us these barcodes. So you don't have to ever worry about trying to find the barcode because Amazon is going to give those to us. And doesn't cost me anything to make this. When you create a book, you can buy what's called author's copies for roughly $2.50 each, and you can buy as many as you want.
And how much do they sell for?
Like $12, $13, and you can set your royalty. So we're going to go over that tonight too.
Okay, cool.
And then this one I created right here.
Yeah, I like it.
My coffee, then I get shit done. This is a popular one. I got this image off of the web, and also there's the back image, and it's just, this is actually just dotted lines.
Okay,
is all this is. It's nothing fancy. And then the last few I did, I created a kind of like a little playbook for my team Nitro. And I had other teams want a book for themselves with their own team logos and everything on them. So I created 2 of them. This one is for another team in Connect called Team Success out of New York.
Okay.
And the girl who asked me to do these for her, she said, I want a picture of like the New York skyline, like that. And confidence, energy, and belief is their mantra. Team Success is their name. And it's the lined items. And then I put Team Success at the top. And in the back, let's see here. In the back, I have a bunch of scripts that I've always used, kind of like for them.
Cool.
So I did one for a team called Team Success. And I did another one for a team called Team Charge. And that light bulb is their journal. Same exact book, just different covers.
Okay.
Now, here's what I do with these. I told them both, I said, listen, I will never charge you to make this book. It's only like maybe 50, 60 pages. And I said, I'll make the book for you for free. And I'll put it at like, I think it was like $8 or $9 on Amazon. I said, all you got to do is just tell your people to go on Amazon, just buy the book for themselves or for their team. Well, every time one sells, I earn like $2.
Oh.
So I'm getting a royalty, and I never even charged them to make these. So, I mean, I probably made I made each of these in under an hour because I already had the interior done because I made one for my own team. So
yeah.
Same interior, and all I did was just change the cover. I made the cover for them with their colors and the picture that they wanted. So every time one of these sells, I make $2, like a $2 royalty, and then every month, if any sell, Amazon sends me that money. So you could do stuff like this for other people and earn money from that if you wanted to. If somebody said to you, like a friend of yours said, hey, you know what? I wrote a book, but I got to get it published. If they go to get it published with a regular publisher, they're going to spend a couple of grand to do it. But you could publish the book on Amazon, get them hard copies like all of these, and you could charge $300, $400, $500 to do that. And then, they have the books, and every time one sells, you could say, listen, every time one sells, I'm going to collect $1 royalty or something like that. Or you could, if you didn't want to do it that way, say, listen, I'll just charge you $500 and we'll take care of the book. You could set up an account for them on KDP, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, where they just collect the royalties, and then you make like $500 or $600 for creating it and putting it on Amazon. And all it does is just take a couple hours of your time.
Okay.
But we're going to get in. I've got my notes here because there's some things in order I want to go over, and then we're going to create a book. We're going to go from concept to creating the book cover to creating a book, literally, and then publishing it to Amazon.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Now I can, yes.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to this website, which is kdp.amazon.com. Okay. And when you go there, you're going to, well, mine says sign in, but you're going to register. This is free to do.
Okay.
And you're going to sign in. Everything that we're doing tonight is going to be free. And this is what the KDP website looks like. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. Okay. And I'm going to scroll down because I'm going to show you a bunch of books. I've got, I think, 104 or 105 books published right now. Here's some examples. This one I just did for Amazon for Getting Ungated. This is actually a ebook. I did not create the paperback version of it yet because I'm still working on the formatting. But this is an ebook. The book that I just showed you, the Team Nitro book, that's this one right here. I have it in, I'm still working on the ebook version for that. And some of these other books here, that one, this is the Trump one, another playbook. These are ones that I made. You can see there's 13 pages. So, and I'm going to go to, let's pick one. Let's go to this one. I want to show you what it looks like. I'm going to click on, where is it? Here it is. View on Amazon. So we're going to see what it looks like on Amazon.
Okay.
This is going to be what the listing is going to, oh, this was me. I purchased it twice myself to send to friends. This is what the listing is going to look like. It's going to show the book like it does any other book. You can set the price. I have this set at $12.99. I created the description here.
Okay.
And down at the bottom, it says here it's 50 pages and it says independently published. That means that it's published by Amazon. Okay. There's no, publisher out there that's publishing it and sending in books. It's actually published by Amazon. So that is what it looks like on Amazon. Now I'm going to show you, let's see here. I'm going to click on my name right here. That's me. And when you click on the author's name, you can actually click down here where it says visit the author's page, no matter what the book is. And now you'll be able to see a list of books that that person has published. So here's a bunch of books. I mean, I just scroll through these. And probably about 80 of these books are the no content books. I just made different book covers. These three actually sell very well in the UK. It's very, very odd. The Mustang one sells well. Let me see. There's the coloring book. Let's see. The skulls do. This one does well. It's the picture that sells the book because they're all the same no content book. It's the picture. Here, that one sells a couple. This one here sells a lot. And I got these, all these images off of a website I'm going to show you called Pixabay.
Okay.
This is actually the road in front of my house right here. Just different. Where's the one? Let me see. This one sells well. All you need is a lot of older women buy that. I noticed. This one here, my daughter, Nicole, she drew on paper a book cover. And then I went into Photoshop and I kind of drew it on the computer. And I printed that and I bought copies for her. It doesn't sell on Amazon, but it's cool that she's got a book with her name on it and all the stuff that she created. And she has her own journal that's personalized for her.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and then there's the other books that I did here and the ones I made here for my team. So you can have an author's page. So anybody can go to your author's page and see all of the books that you've published. You can put up a profile. There's just a bunch of stuff. I can buy these here, but actually you buy them through here so that you don't, let me go here. Order author's copies right here is where you would click to order them yourself. And they cost average of like $2 to $2.50 each. So,
Okay.
so what happens? I want to give you a little bit of background. When you upload a book and it's published, it's just files sitting up on Amazon's server. It's files, a digital version of the book. When somebody buys the book, let's say that they're in California. When somebody in California buys your book, whatever the book is, Amazon looks for the closest printer to where that customer is. Okay. So when they find that printer, they say, hey, listen, so-and-so just bought this book and we want you to print it and send it to him. And these printers already have their accounts set up with Amazon. So they're just waiting for orders to come in. Some of these books here, when you go to the very last page, it'll actually say, where the book was published. I don't know if you can see that. This one,
Yeah.
I'm in Pennsylvania. This one was actually North Carolina or South Carolina. So they publish it faster and it gets to me faster. So I'm not waiting forever to have it published and shipped out. And the customer already paid for the book. So Amazon has that printer print it. That printer mails it to the customer. They get it. And then once a month, depending on when you set up your account, Amazon will direct deposit whatever royalties that you earn into your bank account. So you've never spent any money. All you've done is you've spent time to create these things, but you've actually never spent any money. So it's all labor. It's all labor. So, all right, we're going to create a book. Do you have any questions so far?
No, none so far.
We're going to create a book. And
I had a question. Was that really like Heavy Guy, your twin that I haven't seen in a while? And the bottom of that photo on one of those things you were scrolling through. I don't know where it was, but it was a picture of him and he was about to eat a kid right there.
That was my before.
Damn, you look like the guy from Roseanne there.
Oh, I used to get that, and I used to get Kevin James too.
Now you look more like a Brad Pitt meets like the Marty McFly.
There you go. Well, I guess that's half nice. Where did I go? All right, you're still looking at my screen, right? You see it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, Scott, in case you didn't know, I just recently lost 75 pounds over the last year. That's why he's saying that.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
So thanks. All right, so we're going to create a book. Let me see here. Where do I have it? Here it is. We're going to write, well, it's already written. Okay. This book is going to be called 10 Ways to Make Money from Home. Okay. It's already written. Now I've already written each step, and we're going to make, it's going to be a small book. We're going to make each step one page. So I've already written the 10 different things, and I've already created, let me see here. Here's the pictures. I've already have my pictures. So step 1 is this picture, step 2, step 3, and I already have all the pictures, and I have a picture for the cover. We're also going to make a cover.
Okay.
So where can you get pictures that are not copywritten? Well, you're going to go to a website called Pixabay. What is it? Pixab. Pixabay right here. Pixabay.com. This is a huge website that has royalty-free pictures. So all you do is you just type in whatever you want. It could be you're in roofing, right?
Type in credit repair. I'm curious.
Credit repair?
Yeah, I'm just curious. How do they do that for free?
I have no idea. Nothing came up for credit repair.
How about fitness?
All right. Okay. So there, George, here's pictures you can use on your website.
That's cool.
For Power Up Nutrition, you can use for advertising.
Scroll down. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you how to download it. Oh, there's your adult content right there.
Oh, I want that. Download that real quick.
This is being recorded. I'm not clicking on it.
So like this guy right here squatting, I could have like John put like a Power Up Nutrition logo, and just post that,
Oh, here?
Yeah, like
yeah. All you do.
I'm actually gonna while you do that, I'm gonna watch. So, hold on a second. Are you guys friends again?
No, he
man
doesn't like me. I don't know why.
All right, so what this is called Pixabay.
Yeah,
and then also when you just typed in fitness, and these are all royalty-free images that I could literally take this guy and put Power Up Nutrition in the corner, and there's no like problem with that.
Correct. Yeah, Pixabay, and I'll show you where to do it on Google as well to get royalty-free images. And what you're doing is when you find this picture, you're just going down here to where it says free download.
Nice.
You're going to choose. Let me move myself here. You're going to choose which one you want. I like to pick either these two sizes, depending on what I'm doing, because you can see like this is a bigger image. So like for your website, and you put on your Power Nutrition stuff in there, this is going to be a better.
What about social media? Which one do you think is the best for social media?
Well, social media is more around here.
Okay.
Right here. I mean, this is going to take up a lot of space, but you can do this one. So all you do is you just click on download, and then it starts to download automatically, and there it is. So now, I've never done this, but if you ever wanted to say, hey, thanks for the picture, you could donate. Sometimes it's like 25 cents. Sometimes it's like, hey, buy me a cup of coffee. But, you know, I've never done it over the years. And type in, where's the end? Here's nutrition. Here's a bunch right here. I don't know if these would be in pictures, but just to give you guys some examples. Oops. TS. You can literally type in anything. Here's more. Some of the same. Here you go. There's a good one. But you can type in anything and you'll find pictures, all royalty free. There's a good picture right there. Royalty free images. These are some nice ones. This is sometimes when I do the thumbnails for my YouTube videos, I'll sometimes get pictures here. But this is the website to go to get free images. You can also go and get free images on Google. So let's type in fitness again. We're going to go to images. And then over here in tools, under tools, you have usage rights right here. Different ones, commercial and other licenses. You click on there. And now all of these pictures are royalty-free pictures. So you can use these for however you like commercially.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So yeah, and again, that's for any kind of pictures. Just go into, and that's through Google. So I've gotten a ton of royalty-free pictures here. And the reason when you're doing a book and you're using like stock photos like any of these or for whatever the subject is, if Amazon recognizes the picture and thinks that it's not, or that it's copywritten, they'll deny the book. And sometimes when your book is getting denied, they don't really tell you why it's getting denied, and you have to try to figure it out, which is a royal pain in the butt. But many times they do tell you why. So this is another way, Pixabay and Google Images under tools, and under right here, you can click both, but I like to do commercial and other licenses. You can also choose to have, like, you want to find large pictures so that you can get a picture, even if you blow it up a little bit, it's still going to be nice and clear.
Okay, it says commercial and other licenses. What does that? Does that mean it's unlicensed? Anybody can use it?
Yeah, that means anybody can use it.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be used commercially, like for advertising and whatnot.
Oh, or creatively. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, it can be used any way. I've gotten most of my pictures off of Pixabay and off of Google by going through here under tools.
Okay, got it.
So that is how I got all the pictures, the 10 pictures that I'm doing. The picture that I did for my friend Tina when I did this book here, I got the skyline picture of New York off of I think it was Pixabay.
Okay, cool.
And a lot of the other pictures that I got from there also. So when you're looking for pictures, that's a cool way to get your pictures, and they're all going to be royalty free. So now that you have pictures, and let's say that you already have your content, I already have written here my book. I just did it in notes on my computer. Okay. So the next thing that you need to do is you need to decide what size, let me see here. What size is my book going to be? So where am I at here? Here it is right here. I sent you a link to this part in KDP. It's in your email. It's a link to the KDP website, the templates for the books. Okay. So right under here, under Choose Template, you have two sets of templates. You have blank templates, and you have templates that are worded. Like page 1 will say chapter 1 through 10. It'll be written down chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and it'll have just different kinds of text in there that you just edit. That's under here, and you also have the blank where it's just the size of the book, whatever book size you choose, and it's blank. So when you download those, you're going to get zip files, and they're going to look like this. These are all the different sizes of books that you can do. Okay. The most common book is the 6x9. That's what all of these books are right here. Okay. Is the 6x9. I did the one coloring book in an 8x10, and I did the other two coloring books in the 8.5x11, which is paper size. So when you click on these, it's just a regular Word format, a Word document with that size paper on it automatically. The ones with text, I'll click on it and show you. Click on the 6x9, and when it comes up, you're going to see that text is written there, so it makes it real easy to maybe copy and paste some words that you already wrote, or you can just start writing right here in this Word document. See if it pops up. But I did this the first time, depending on pictures that you use and depending on font. Sometimes it's not as easy to format. It could be easier to format if you just start with the blank version and then edit it that way. Okay. So this is literally, you're just filling in the blanks, title, name, and when you scroll down, where's the contents? Right here. So you're just literally writing chapter 1, what the name is, and the pages and everything here. And then you just start editing. Where is it here? Right here. Then you just start copy and paste your text into here, chapter 1, or just start writing it here. Okay. So, and then your book title shows up in the header of each one. This is another way that you can do it. But I've mostly have done the blank one. All right. So let's exit out of here. All right. And that's something I keep a folder up here that says KDP templates. I keep that here, and I keep the text ones here. These are all the blank ones. The most, like I said, the most common one is the 6x9 right here. So what I do is I just right click and I just make a copy of this, and then I just rename the copy so that I always have the template, the blank template. Okay. So, all right. You could create the whole book like what we're going to do tonight in this Word document, or you could do it another way, and it's a way that I kind of like to do it because there's a lot more, you can do a lot more with it, is I go to a website called Canva, canva.com, C-A-N-V-A. And I'm going to show you around this a little bit. I've been using this for a couple of years. There is a free version. There is a $13 a month version. I used the $13 a month version for about 3-ish years now, but I've been on the website for probably about 4 years. And you can do, I mean, this is even good for your roofing business. You can do videos, you can do advertising, you can do videos for Instagram, for Facebook. You can create posters. Here's a video you can do. Like if you have pictures of your, of like before and after of the roofs that you've done, you could literally make a video of that stuff, before and after pictures, and put your company name in there, put that on Facebook, wherever. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. Instagram stories you can make, postcards, you can do flyers. This animated social media one, I use that a lot. This is actually one that I just used a week ago. But we're also going to use this to make a book. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to show you some things that I've done. These are all the designs that I have done. T-shirts, apparel, just a newsletter that I've done. I also use this to make Facebook covers for like a Facebook page. This is how I use my Facebook profile.
Okay.
This is a video, just anything. There's a YouTube thumbnail, just anything you could think of. You can do with this, and there's a free version, so you can even use this for your own roofing company as well.
Cool.
So, all right, so the first thing that we need to do is over here where it says create a design. Now we picked the book, so let's say we want to make our book a 6x9. So there are ones, let me go back here to the home page just to show you real quick. When you're on the home page, you could type here, like if you wanted to make a flyer for your business or an ad, you can just type it in, and now a boatload of samples are going to show. And you're literally just clicking on any of them that you like, and you're editing it. It's extremely, extremely easy. It's like just drag and drop. But we want to make a book. We want to start from scratch. So we're going to, where is it here? We're going to click on custom size. So remember, we want to create a book that is in inches, not pixels. So it's going to be 6 inches by 9 inches.
Got it.
So there's our, what I'm going to call the canvas right there, 6x9. Blow this up a little bit here. Let's see, what is it? There we go. So we're not creating the cover. The cover is created separately than what's known as the interior of the book. Okay. So we're going to start off with the interior of the book. So here is what we're going to call, if you did like a page 1, you could write something. Well, you know what? Let's do, where is it here? Let's do this. Now I'm just going to copy and paste the text here. So over on the left-hand side, you're going to see all of your options. Everything that you need is all here. When you pay the monthly version, you actually come up with a whole lot more than the free version, obviously. But if you click on text, you can click and just drag it right over.
Okay, cool.
Very, very easy. I'm going to lower the font a little bit. I'm going to right click, paste. So boom, there it is right there. You can highlight, you can change font, you can, there's so much stuff you can do. If you have a certain font that maybe you use for your company for advertising, when you use the paid version, you can actually upload that font into this. It's a cloud-based. You can upload that font so that everything matches maybe something that you're already doing with advertising.
Okay.
So right here, this could be page 1. You could change this. You could do whatever you want with this. Bring it down here, change sizing. So that could literally, you bring it down and there's center right there. If I wanted to make this part smaller, I just highlight it and just bring it down to whatever size I want. It's right there. So there's literally page 1 right there. Now we want another page. So all we do is go down here and click on add page. So those pictures that we did, we want to upload those pictures. We're going to upload them as we go. So over here on the left-hand side, it says upload. These are already pictures that I've uploaded. And there are hundreds of them. They stay here.
Okay.
We're going to upload. You can upload from many different areas, but I've got these sitting on my computer. So let's see, where was it? It was, oh, let me go. All files. Here it is, 10 ways. So there's number 1. I'm gonna click on that. So now it starts to upload. And all you do is you just drag and drop it right over here. Yeah, if you wanted it as the background, when you bring it closer to the edge, it fills in the background. But I just want it, say, right here. And then I can make it bigger or smaller. Now notice when I make it bigger or smaller, see how the purple lines come up? You're writing a book here. And we have to remember that there's bleed to the book where some of the edge is going to be cut off when it's printed. So we want to stay within those lines.
Got it.
So now we want to put above here, we want to put our text for the number one way to make money from home. So I'm going to click on text and I'm going to click the smaller one out here and drag it right here. I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm going to go to where I have my text here. And this is, let's see, here it is, number one. This right there. So I'm going to copy it. And right click, paste. And now I just got to make it smaller. And you end up adjusting all of this to make it fit, keeping it within those lines. So let's see. All right. So we're going to make this 12. And we'll do 12. Make it bold. So there's literally right there, step one. If I wanted to make this part here bold, let's see. It's bold. Let's shift everything right there. And there's page one. So now to make another page, you can do two things. You can duplicate this page.
Okay.
Or you can just create a new page. So I'm going to create a new page. And now here's the next page. So now we want to do number two. Go back, open up my files. I want to bring in the picture for number two. I'm going to drag it over. And we're going to do this for all 10 because I want to complete this. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do afterwards.
Okay.
So that's number two. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to text, pick the small font here. I'm going to take this down to there, right click and paste, adjust however you want. Let's do that. It's centered. There's number two. So let's do number three. And then I'll show you some other things that you can do. Where's upload? There are pictures, stock pictures. There are so many different things. If you wanted to add arrows or lines or anything at all, there is just a boatload of things to add into here. But I want to keep this simple to not overload you here.
Okay.
If you play around with the free version of this, you'll see exactly what it is. Here's one I found of a roofer. So put it within the lines, move it over, and then the text, because the number three thing is to use skills, cash in on your skills. Roofing is a skill. So we're going to go to text, the small one again. These other ones here, if you click on these and bring them over, when you start, you can type in here, your font will look this color and it'll look this style. And then you can change up here in the effects and adjusting. You can change color, you can change font if you're looking for something a little bit, more cool than just plain text. I use this one a lot for my YouTube thumbnails. But for tonight, we're going to do this pretty easy.
Okay.
Take this down here. Paste. Okay. Let's make it. There we go. So there's three. Now, if I was doing this where I was actually going to publish it, I would definitely be making it look a whole lot prettier. But I just want to give you the idea. What do we got? Number 4. The fourth skill. Let's go right here. And I like to, when I do my pictures, I like to take up as much space as I can. Number 4. This one has more text to it, number 4. copy text. Let's bring this down. Paste. All right. So adjust. Where's the picture? Here we go. If you're out of the lines too much and you go to publish this, and this is why I'm trying to do what I can to stay in the lines, Amazon may, they may not approve it because they may say, hey, we think that maybe this word is extended a little over too far and it may be cut off when we make the book. So then they email you and say it was rejected because of so-and-so reason. So it's a whole lot better if you just take the time to make sure that you're like within the
Tom,
line.
don't you use that? Don't you use their tool they have that you upload it and then it tells you right there if it's not good or not?
Yeah, yep. You can do that, and I use that every single time I use it because you can preview the book. But my my Donald Trump book that I made was rejected 5 times. It finally passed, and maybe somebody on the other end just didn't like Trump. I don't know, but it took 6 uploads and 6 times for me to make changes before it actually went through. This is that was number 6 and 5. That 5. Let's see. I'm not sure. We're going to go, oops. Oh no, that was this one. Deliveries. Here we go. All right. So text, small. Okay. I think I'll just cut this down, not to 10, but shorter for time here. Paste. All right, so we'll cut it down to here because after I publish this, I'm going to delete it anyway. So
okay.
So we've got pages. We've got 5, 6 pages. I think there's a minimum of like 15 pages or so. So we're just going to duplicate and make some extra pages of the same thing.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's make it 20 pages just to be safe. I'm just duplicating. All right, we're at 20. So that right there is what we call the interior of the book. You got pictures, you've got text. If you wanted to, let me find one where there's space here. Like here, there's space right here. I could go into photos and I can type in, let's see what happens if I type in roof. Here's some pictures of roofs. So I could go, let's see here. I could go, see like right here, I just drag that over here. I could change out that picture, or I can put it, in there as well. Oops. Change the size of the picture, add that, maybe put it over here. So lots of different things that you can do. There's tons of pictures. You can type in anything. Let me see, type in fitness, and there's more pictures. And these are royalty-free pictures also. So you can use these pictures for whatever you want.
Okay.
So we're going to download this, and sorry. And we're going to download it as a PDF right here, because when you upload the interior, they want it as a PDF. So we're going to download that. Okay. So 10 ways. So there's the PDF. Okay. So now we're going to upload this book. So we're back at kdp.amazon.com. Okay. First thing we're going to do is it's going to be a paperback. So we're going to click on the little plus. And this is self-explanatory. You're literally just filling in the blanks as you go. So we're going to click on paperback. Oh, we got to sign back in. All right. The book title was The 10 Ways, right here. Oops. Where'd you go? Here you are. There's the book title. Some of these things are optional, like this one, things you don't need. If you were writing a book, like say you're writing novels and you were doing a series, you would add each one here, fill in that information. You don't need it if it's not going to be like an edition 1 of 2 or whatever, you know, you don't need to fill in anything here. Here, I always fill in my name. Now, whatever you fill in here, say you write your name or I write my name. If I wrote down residual and then hustler here, if I do that for every single one and all my books, when a book pops up, if somebody clicks on my name, they'll see all the books under that name. So whatever you do, try to make this the same name every time so that everything falls under your name. If somebody is writing the book with you, you can put in their name right here. Okay. Book description. I'll just copy and paste some stuff right here. Now you can write whatever you want. You've got 4,000 characters here. This is a lot where you're going to see bullet points when you're looking at the product or the book on Amazon. This is where you're going to see a lot of bullet points. You'll also see in the description. So you can put in here whatever you want. There's plenty of stuff. You own the rights because you wrote it. Now, keywords. Keywords are important. So this was 10 ways to make money from home. So we'll put in work from home. Maybe income from home. When you're doing this, you kind of like want to put in what you would search. If you were looking for a book on, let's say roofing, you can put in, roofing installation might be what you're looking for. This is a book based on side hustle. So put in side hustle, HUSTLE. Let's put in ENTPRENE, entrepreneur. I never spell it right. Oops. ENTPREN. Yep. Let's see. What did I put? Did I put home base? Home.
Is Bruno a new guy?
Who's Bruno?
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, I don't know if maybe you know him.
No.
That's just me. I'm just fucking with you. I gotta go on my phone. I gotta go in the hot tub. I switched over to Bruno.
I'm like, wait a minute. We're the only one. No, the other ones. All right. So home-based business, income from home, work from home, entrepreneur, home-based business, side hustle. I need money now. Whatever. Now, choose categories. This is going to be categories where your book is going to sit. So if you're looking at what is this book, like this book is, 10 side hustles. So it's more educational. So you're clicking down and you're looking through, it could be education. It could be anything. I mean, you're literally picking what you want. Where was the other one? Let's see. Could be study aids. But let's go to education. We'll click on general. And you can click on save. Does this book contain language, situations, or inappropriate for children under 18? Well, if George is making it, it's probably yes, but we're not. So click on no, click on save. So let's see. Save. All right. So this is the barcode. Remember the barcode on the back of the book?
Yes.
This is where you're not uploading one. You're telling Amazon right here, give me one of those. I want one. You just assign it to me. So you make sure that you click on this and click on assign. And Amazon is just going to give you one. And there it is right there. So because you are getting a barcode, this book will be on Amazon forever. Okay. Because this barcode indicates you and your book. Next week, when we talk about apparel and shirts and designs and stuff, when you upload like a t-shirt design on Amazon, if it doesn't sell in 3 months, Amazon removes the listing. There's no UPC attached to it like there is a book.
Oh, so Tom, you're doing multiple classes? We're doing them still?
Yeah. Next week
Nice.
is going to be next week is going to be apparel, and then the week after that is going to be wholesale.
Nice.
Yeah. I want to concentrate solely on this, so I'm not all all over the place. So publication date, this is optional. I mean, we're going to upload it tonight, so it's going to go. Now, this is where you choose some options. Okay, if you choose this is black and white cream colored interior paper, black and white regular white paper. If you are creating a book like I did for the Trump book that has the colored pictures in it, I chose this one right here. A book that you create that has color inside it is going to cost you roughly about $1 more, maybe $1.50 more per book. So the regular books that have just black and white interior, you spend maybe $2.50 to buy your own book. You're selling it for whatever you want. If the Trump book, I think, cost me about $4 to buy for myself, and I just sell it for whatever I want because it's color. So the cream color paper, I did cream color for the coloring books because the color, obviously coloring on that cream paper is nicer. We're going to choose the white paper for this book. It's already a 6x9 size because that's pretty much a default right there. If you were making this a different size, you would just click on whatever size you're making it. Here's the 8x10 I did for the one coloring book. And here's the other 8.5x11 I did for the other coloring book. These are kind of standard sizes right here. If you make it a totally different size here, the book is going to cost probably about twice as much because now it's custom made. But in my 5-ish years, I've always stuck to these standard sizes right here. You can see the 6x9 is already selected. Now, no bleed versus bleed. This is pictures or images going to the edge of the book. I always pick no bleed. Let me move this over here. Unless you're doing something where you want the interior page fully covered all over, then you would click bleed because it would bleed to that end. Here, default is no bleed. You can see setting of interior the book to bleed allows printing at or off the edge of the page. So, and you've got to be careful because you have a picture going off the page, it's going to be cut off. Matte finish versus glossy. This is for the finish for the cover. The matte finish I first did in my first couple books, and it looks cool, but you can actually see fingerprints on it. And I didn't like that. When you're holding the book, the oils from your fingers will leave little marks on the book. I changed it to glossy, and all the books that I have now, it's all gloss. I don't know if you can see that, but it's all glossy finish. Stays nice and clean. It wipes up nice and clean, and it looks a whole lot better in a glossy finish than a matted finish. So every single one I've done in a glossy finish. Now we're going to upload the manuscript, which is the interior of the book. Move this over here. And these are the different formats you can use. So if you do it in a Word document, you can either save it in a Word document or you can save it as a PDF. We saved it as a PDF. So there it is right there. It's going to upload. Depending on how many pages this is, will depend on how fast it's going to go. All right, success. That's uploaded. So now we're going to be looking at the book cover. So if I could have made a book cover in Canva, that would be a 6x9 where I just make the document a 6x9 like we did, and then I put in a picture or do whatever I want there. You can do that, or you can do what I did in the beginning because it's easier and everything is formatted. Is you create one right here as you're uploading the book.
Okay.
And this is good to use. We're going to use, we're not going to use this. We're going to skip this. These are different templates that you can use for the book. I'm going to minimize this here so I can see. There's not a ton of them, but I mean, you can see it already put the title in here. And it's got some other information. Let's pick that one. So here we can edit this. We can change this. We can do whatever we want. Here, let's see, I'll put a picture here. Let's do this one. So there's a picture there. This could be a picture of you. It doesn't make a difference. We can do text here and text here. You don't want to put any kind of pictures or text over this because this is where the barcode's going to go, all right there.
Okay.
So let's just do some editing a little bit here. Let's take some of our text and copy it. Oop, we're going to want to change that font. It says auto fit. So there it goes automatically. And then we could change this to whatever we wanted also. So there's my name as the author. It kind of like makes the cover for you right there. So if you like that, there we go. What is it saying? Click to replace placeholder or okay, we don't need to do that. Choose layout, choose fonts. These are just different ones. Let's see if this is going to save. Why is it not saving? Did it save? Let's see. Click to replace. Skip that. Let's do, well, what if we add a picture? Let's see what happens. Oh, that changes the background. Oh, that's cool. They added that. Before it was just solid ones. All right, so we've got, it looks like there's an error here. We recommend at least 300 DPI for quality printing, but this image is only 99. Oh, they're talking about that. Oh, okay. All right. So how do we delete this? Let's see. Oops. All right, so let's see if we can do, from here. All right, I'm going to try to find a better picture here. Let's see what we find. Let me look for one. Let's pick that one. It's a tooth. See if that's going to resolve it. We recommend at least 300 DPI for quality printing, but this image is only 99. Please choose another high resolution image. Okay. Well, let's do this. Preview. See if it'll let us preview it and save it. Once this all goes through and errors are fixed as you go through this, you're going to be able to preview. Okay, so there we go. There's the cover. Save and submit. Oh, there it is. It's reading. Okay, so you're actually going to get to see a preview of what it looks like. So we're going to scroll down. You can see now it says cover uploaded successfully.
Okay.
Upload a cover. If you did your own design and save that as a PDF, you can click on that here and upload that. Launch previewer. And again, depending on how many pages this book is, it will depend on how long it takes for the preview of this book to come up. When I do some of my coloring books, because there's so many images, I think it's like 100 pages. It took it's like 4 or 5 minutes for it to come up. But what it's doing now is it's building the book for you to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. And I wanted to do all this in real time so that you see the time that it takes to do all of this. And I just didn't want to just like show you like screenshots of this stuff.
Yeah, no, this is better.
Yeah, because I wanted you to see, all right, checking manuscript. So if there's anything wrong with the manuscript, which is the interior, then it's going to tell us. And it'll give us like almost like little checkpoints. It'll say, you know, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Okay.
There was a problem. Okay, so see the errors for more details. Problem with the cover. All right. It's probably that picture again. So let's go back. Narrow spine. All right, well, that's no big deal. Whenever your book is, what did I say? Whenever your book, 100 pages. Okay. Let me show you an example. Wait, here we go. Let me bring up the picture so I can see. All right. Do you see on the spine of the book how there's writing?
Yeah.
Like that? The book needs to be at least 120-ish, 115 pages thick in order for that to pop up. Okay. This book it says this book only has 20 pages. So that's fine. You can see here how it looks like it eliminated the middle, middle spine. So let's see if that fixes it, if that'll let us go through. That was the preview. With a lot of the no content books that I do, I actually make it a minimum of like 115 pages so that the writing shows up on the spine. So hopefully that'll work, because now it's not showing writing on the spine. And let's see if this is going to work. All right. There, so let's preview again. Continue. Okay. This sometimes can take, after you go through this process and you submit it, it can sometimes take a day to get a response. Sometimes you get an email. It can sometimes, the first one that I did with the Trump book, it took 4 days, I think it was 3 or 4 days. And then I got an email from Amazon saying that it wasn't published. I had to fix these errors. If a couple of days go by and you don't get an email, you can go back into the KDP here and you can look where the progress is. You know, if it's still processing, it'll say, you know, still processing, not published yet. If it has been published, but you didn't get an email, you'll be able to click on the book itself and actually see the listing on Amazon. So there's times where I go into KDP to see if it was published, and it was, and Amazon never sent me an email. All right. Hopefully this will fix the spine thing. But I'm glad we're doing this in real time so that you can see, you know, what this is. Oh, what is that? All right, so content creator. So something's wrong with the cover. Narrow spine, we did that already. Let's do this. Let's start over. Let's start over. We're going to use, let's do this one.
Okay.
We recommend at least 300 DPI. Okay, so maybe they're saying that picture is not good enough. So, all right. So let's see. I'm gonna move you over. Let's choose another one. Oh no, we picked one from their gallery. That's right. All right. So let's choose from the computer. Let's see. Clicker edit. We recommend 300. Now, I wonder why I keep getting that. I recommend at least 300 DPI. That's only 213. All right, so let's look for a better resolution picture. Let's do background.
Maybe it's that small picture on the other page.
This one, I was thinking that too. This one, it says it's only 238. See, when you click on this, it says it needs 300, but it says this particular picture is only 238. So we've got to use a better resolution picture. Let's see. No.
You don't have to have a picture on there, right?
No, you don't have to. It did. I wonder, let me see. Did it do a stock one? Let me go back. What did it do for stock? Yeah, there is a picture, but you know what? Let's do this one. Huh. It's that picture. All right, so let's pick. I mean, worst case scenario, I'm just going to upload the one that I already had before. I got to minimize you guys here because you keep getting in the way. What other ones do we have here? All right, so here's ones with no picture. I mean, you can always add a picture, but let's try one of these. All right, so here's one with no picture. If you wanted to add a picture, you could. We could do a picture there if you wanted to. But here's one right there. You can choose your font. You can change these things like you did before. But you can see it kind of brought over that text that we had on the other one all right here.
Hey, Tom, do you mind if I tell him like what I do for Kindle KDP or?
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead.
So like Tom has a lot of time to do this and he likes it. I personally have attention deficit, so I can't do all this. So I basically, what I do is I go on Fiverr.com, FIVVER.com. I have a interior designer, I have a cover artist, and I have a proofreader. Cost me usually like $600. I know it's a little costly, but I have the number one. Now my books are different. My books have like, 140 pages with like 30,000 words. So there's a lot of mistakes, but the interior designer designs the book to my specifications. He makes it beautiful. The exterior designer creates the cover for me. He already knows the Amazon sizing. So it fits perfectly. And then the proofreader, because I don't want to use my friends, he charges me. So basically everything is done professionally while I'm still hustling and doing my rentals. And then when it all comes together, I take all because they know the files for Amazon. So everything's already filed, ready to go. I just upload it into the launcher and boom, my book is published.
Okay. So do you type it up yourself or you just tell them the ideas?
I type it up myself. I make all the paragraphs. And then I find somebody who's willing to correct not only the grammar, but the punctuation of like how I'm speaking and shit. Like Eric was like, Eric cost me an extra $150 because his first language is Spanish. So he wrote half the last book we wrote, he wrote half of it. And it was like good content, but it was like backwards because he's, it wasn't. So the guy rearranged it, made it better, gave me instructions like, hey, this might need some bulletins. This, you might need a footnote here. So I just pay professionals. It usually costs, like I said, around $600, $7. And that's really easy to get back. You figure you sell a book for $15. You sell 30 books, 40 books, and you made your money back. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Now what he's doing, what Tom is doing, is a little bit different. He's doing a lot of like, like cartoons and this and that. So I don't know. I wouldn't even know. I might have to do what he's doing. But if you want to write an actual like book, that's how I do it. But I still use his format, KDP.
Got it.
Screen size may be too small. Oh. Let's see here. Looks like you've made some changes. Please look. We have detected your screen size is less than 12 by 6. We suggest resizing your window or use a device. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Here. If I can't get past this error for whatever reason, then I'm going to go into one of my books and show you what the next screens look like, where you can put in cost and everything.
Okay.
But I mean, I could be here. There's times where I've been here for hours trying to figure out what what these errors are.
Maybe it's that small picture.
It might be the resolution. Let's see. I'll take this over there for right now. Okay. Thank you. All right. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to, it probably is a small picture, but I don't want to be on here all night long going through this. So I'll end up going into one of my books and I'll edit it and I'll show you. After this gets approved, the next screen where it says save is where you adjust your pricing.
Okay.
But we'll there's been times I've gone through this a couple times, it hasn't worked, and then I just dropped the whole thing, and then I would just make like a cover in Photoshop, or like George said, have somebody on Fiverr make one, or use .com and make one there as well.
Okay.
But we'll give this a minute here. We're going on 8:30. I wanted to definitely keep this under 2 hours, so we're going. What's at 8:30? Are you in Texas? So is it 7:30 where you are?
Yeah, I'm in Texas. It's 7:30.
Okay. All right. So on your end, we got an hour and a half.
Wait, so we were done at 8:30 tonight, supposedly?
No, I wanted to be done by 9 o'clock. I didn't want to go over 2 hours. I wanted to stay under 2. All right. So to save time, I'm going to go into one of my existing books. Right here, continue the paperback. Let's do one. That's the Kindle. All right, so right here, edit pricing. So we're going to go into one of my existing books. Now, the next screen, if I would have clicked on continue and all was good, this is the next screen right here. Okay.
Okay.
So the first screen was this one, which was all the details, the title and uploading the interior. The next one was the interior and the cover, which is what we worked on. And then now the third one is the pricing. So when you come over here, this is where you can adjust your pricing, and then this will tell you what your royalties are. So I have this book priced at $1.99, and you can change it for different countries. If I price this at, let's say, $10.99, then you'll see over here where the royalties change. Okay, this $2.15. If I wanted to buy what they call author copies, which are my own books, it would cost me $2.15. I sell it on Amazon for $10.99, And every time one sells, Amazon is going to send me $4.44 right there.
Got it.
If you go into expanded distribution, which is other countries, then this is what your royalties would be. I mean, here you're at 60%, here you're at 40%. So I like to keep mine around the $10 mark. So at $10, every time one sells, I make $3.84. Right.
And they don't charge you shipping, nothing.
No,
It's
no.
all profit. That
No,
$3
so
fee.
yeah, shipping. I mean, when you go to order a book that's being made like these, it'll say prime shipping, but it never arrives in prime shipping because the book has to be published. It's usually 7 to 10 days, including weekends, before you get that book. It's the same thing with apparel. You know, they say, oh, you got Prime, you'll have it in 2 days. Well, not this one, but other shirts that I've made, it still takes 2 weeks because it has to be printed and shipped to you. So even though it says Prime, it's really not going to be delivered in Prime. So the customer, depending if they have Prime or not, will depend if they pay shipping, but you never pay the shipping. You actually, no money comes out of your pocket for any of this. It is just the royalty that they get that they send you once a month. So
got it.
We set this at $9.99. It cost us $2.15 to buy a book ourselves, and we get a commission of $3.84. Now here it says your minimum cost to sell us at is $3.58. Your maximum is $250. So I have a book on the page before here that I sell for $79.99. You can go up as high as $250.
Okay.
So coming down here and request printed proofs. Now I don't click here at all. Here it says it can take up to 72 hours for Amazon to approve it. And while they're looking at it, it'll be what's known as in review. Okay. The next thing you do is click publish your paperback. If there's any other errors when you're going through this process, this part of it, you may get notification here. So the last step right here, it says your paperback has been submitted. This is it. Selling price. It's going to be reviewed, and it could take up to 72 hours for it to be available. Okay. So click on done, and that's actually the whole process. Now, when you go to, let's see here. If you wanted to make an ebook version of this, you're literally just clicking on continuing setup and then going through the steps like we just did.
Got it.
And then Amazon is going to put it into an ebook for their Kindle or for iPhone or whatever version. Whenever I do mine, like I've got, well, this one I also have as an ebook, but it's the same $79 for the ebook or the paperback version. But I have other ebooks like this one here. I sell the paper version for $13 and the ebook for $3.
Okay.
So people can do it either. The paper version of the Donald Trump book is $13, but Amazon blocked the Kindle version. I don't know why, but they did. So I can't sell it for Kindle, but I can sell it as a paperback.
On the ebooks, is it mostly profit for you?
Yeah, it's well, they get their cut, and you're looking at like 60% again.
Okay.
But I actually have more people buying the paper versions than the ebook versions.
Got it.
You that do the ebook version, and I'll make like I think like $1.50 or $2, but most of my royalties come from the paper versions. These versions here. Same thing here. You'll see that this book right here for my Team Nitro book, this one here and this one here, I have these set at the lowest number possible because these have the word connect in them, and connect does not allow associates to make stuff like this and make a profit from it. So I have these books set at the lowest price I can, so I keep myself out of trouble.
Okay.
But any of these books, you know, you can do Kindle version, ebooks, and you set the pricing for any of them. Reports, and I'm not going to go through every single one, but reports, you can see what books are selling, what royalties you're getting. You can set it up. It'll tell you what books sold, if it was an ebook. Royalties for this time frame were $52. If you get over 600, I believe, they're going to hit you with a 1099. So when you get close to that, you want to watch this. Payments. These are all the payments. You can do it for different time frames for whatever you want. And the amounts of payments that you get will all be right here. Let's see, prior month's royalties. Everything will be set up right there. You can do ads if you wanted to. I've never done an ad. Let's see. Oh, wait. Historical. A scale of how many books sold. Like here, that month I sold 28 books. And if you look, all 28 were paperback. So here, 9 paperback and 4 ebooks. So the goal is to get sold here 104. Oh wow, Kindle version. Oh wow, that was May 2020. Wow, I wonder what happened that month. I don't remember that. But you can see here $678 payout for royalties, $37 payout for royalties there.
Why does your Donald Trump say blocked for Kindle?
I don't know. The paper version obviously is good. I had it printed. I got copies for myself, but I've tried to work on this a couple of times where it says continue setup. When I go in there, they just won't let it go.
The other thing, I'm Scott. I pay these guys to do when I pay them to do the interior design. It actually I have them also make me a Kindle version because it's very different.
Okay.
It's MOBI file. I think it's different than if you try to upload your book into a Kindle, it might take it, but when people are reading it, it's all over the place.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, the formatting, obviously the formatting is different for a book versus the Kindle on your phone. Yeah. When I do the Kindle version, you can format it differently and upload it here. That's what I've done. Like for these others here that are all Kindle, you can format the book differently to fit, the mobile is what that is.
Okay.
But that's basically it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. The bookshelf, this is the bookshelf where we saw where all of our books were. If you want to click on any of the books to see what they look like live, you just click on View Amazon right here, and then you click on US, and then it goes right to the page on Amazon where it is.
Okay.
This is the title up here. Where'd it go? Here's where you put in your title, the date that I published this one, the price. This is where your description goes. Oops.
Have you had to deal with any returns?
No, I've never had a return.
Okay.
George did, didn't you, George?
Not for a book that I wrote.
Oh, that was a book that he sent in for FBA. That's right. I
don't know if they can return or not. I mean, how would that work? I don't even know.
I don't know. I've never had one returned.
What about on the Amazon side? Have you had anything returned there?
With FBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had stuff returned, and sometimes you can, you fight with them to get it back. When Amazon gets it back, they'll look at it. If it's still sellable, then they will put it back into your inventory.
Okay.
If it's not, then sometimes you'll get an email saying this is unsellable. Do you want to do a removal order where they have it sent back to you, or do you just want them to dispose of it?
That book that got returned, I'm not positive. I have to go through my emails, but I think it got resold again already.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. Nice. So if it resold, Bruno, then obviously the guy, Amazon looked at it, inspected it, said, this is good. We'll put it back into George's inventory.
Cool.
So, but that is, let me stop my screen share here. But that is it. What are we at? We're at 8:46. So that is it. This is, I recorded this. So I'll end up sending you the link to this.
Okay, that works.
Any questions at all with what we did tonight?
No, I think I got them as we went on.
All right. It took a little longer than I thought, but you know what? We did it in real time, which I'm kind of glad because then he saw some of the issues as opposed to just screenshots and some of the things that possibly could go wrong with it. Next week, we're going to do apparel.
Okay.
I don't have one here. It's uploading like we did with the books, different format, and also creating the images and stuff I do are all also on Canva, and I do some in Photoshop. We'll create an image and then we'll upload it, and I'll show you how to upload it. Oh, I don't have one here, but I'll get some of my shirts to show you what they look like. The quality for the shirts is not as good as like what the George has for the quality of his Evolve shirts.
Yeah.
His shirts are higher quality and they're nicer and they feel soft, but their standard shirts for Amazon are just like standard, like Gildan shirts.
Okay.
And their premium shirt is a better quality. Their hoodie is actually very good quality, which is nice. And I'm going to go through uploading that, creating design, how to put the designs on hoodie, sweatshirts and stuff, and setting pricing for that as well. So that one's
sounds good.
Going to be an hour next week because that's a whole lot simpler process.
Okay, sounds good. Excited for it.
But you've got me on Facebook. You can message me if you have any questions. If you need help with anything, just let me know. Just reach out.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start selling, so I should probably have some questions this week.
That's fine.
Yep. Thank you.
How are you, Bruno?
I'm good. I'm Bruno, the guy from that movie, Bruno. But I'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Are you in the hot tub?
I was.
All right, I'll see you guys next week. I'll send you the link for next week.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See ya.